Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hey, I'm Kevin.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
I'm Nibras.
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. Another amazing episode on another amazing Thursday. Or shoot, I think it's Friday. I think I'm getting my numbers all mixed up. Goodness gracious, I can't believe I forgot the date. It happens to the best of us, but don't worry, guys. I've been now informed that it is actually Friday. My mind has been blown, and I cannot believe it. It's almost one more day until the weekend. Anyways, for those who don't know what Youth Connect is, if you're new to the show as well, Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. Everyone here is into the creative arts, whether that be broadcasting, music, artwork, and more. But most of all, it's very important that you know that we have a ton of news that you will need to find out as the show progresses. But to start off the show, we always have to do myself and to start off with gaming news. Okay, so gaming news. What's first on the list? The first thing that we always have to do is our Spotlight Game of the Week. Now, usually this is the time where I shine the light and highlight a game that I think that you should check out. And this game I actually have been playing literally today. And today's game of the week is Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. This game is awesome, but I have a story for you. So apparently Curse's evil forces are running rampant throughout the universe. It wants to consume the mysterious sparks, uncanny and powerful creatures formed by the fusion of Lumas and Rabbids, and it threatens to destroy all who stand in its way. Team up with Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Rabbit Luigi, and their friends on a galactic journey to defeat a malevolent entity and save your Spark companions. Explore planets throughout the galaxy as you uncover secrets and compelling quests. You can lead a team of your favorite Mario Rabbit characters to bring order back to the universe and save the Sparks. Embark in this epic journey through mysterious, strange, and ever-surprising planets filled with fascinating inhabitants and compelling people. You can also collect and protect the surprising and very powerful Sparks to unleash destruction on new and familiar adversaries. Use their special abilities and power in battle to gain the right upper hand in combat. There are dozens of Sparks to locate and save, each with a distinct power-up and each with a distinct special passive and active ability. This game is amazing, guys. I've been playing it for about 2 days now since it did just release yesterday. I recommend that you check this game out. The music's outstanding. The characters are actually really enjoyable. And you know what? The story itself is fairly simple, but but it's still very goofy every once in a while. If you remember the original Mario and Rabbids game, which released a few years back, this game is almost as good as its sequel, let alone maybe even a little bit better. Only the factor is that we have Rabbit Mario, who is literally Louis Albino. So you got a Brooklyn accent Mario and a regular Italian style Mario, and you got a whole bunch of assorted characters, so many bosses, unique ones and recurring ones like the Wiggler, and so much more. I hope you check out this game, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. It's a really cool game. I think that you'll like it. But anyways, next up is Kevin, and Kevin has with us some all-important news.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect. This is your host, Kevin Aruja. Here are our headlines. Ontario education workers one step closer to strike after mediation breaks down. Ontario to pay parents up to $250 per child to catch up in schools. The U.S. Cheers quits after turmoil obliterate her authority. And Raptors mount fourth quarter comebacks to defeat Cavaliers in season opener. Mediation after the Ontario government and education workers has broken down, and union representatives said it's very possible that a strike could be coming next month. The mediator has requested that both parties resume bargaining on November 1st, 2 days after the union will be in position to legally take job action. The main point of contention is salary. The Ontario government has offered education workers making less than $40,000 a year a 2% salary increases, while all the other workers are being offered a 1.25% salary increase. CUPE, meanwhile, is arguing that employees should be given a 3.25 per hour increase and an annual increase about 11.7%. They argue they deserve higher increases because the provincial government capped salary increases for the past 3 years, and the cost of living in the province has increased drastically due to inflation. Ontario Education Minister Stephen Lecce is offering parents $200 or $250 per child to help offset the cost of catching up in school after 2 years of disrupted learning. Starting on Thursday, parents with children up to 18 years old can apply for $200, while parents with school-age children with special education needs up to the age of 21 can apply for $250. Applications for these catch-up payments will remain open until March 31st, 2023, through a web portal for direct payments. These relief payments are part of a $365 million plan to catch up when the government first announced during the throne speech in August. However, at the time, details about how this lump sum of money will be divided were sparse. The British Prime Minister Liz Truss quit Thursday after an unrestrained and historically brief term marred by economic policies that mixed financial markets and rebellion in her political party that eliminated her authority. Truss became the third Conservative Prime Minister to be toppled in many years, extending the instability that has shaken Britain since it broke out from the European Union and leaving its leadership in limbo as the country faced a cost of living crisis and looming recession. Financial markets breathe a sign of relief, but Truss believes a divided ruling party seeking a leader who can unify his warring factions. Truss, who said she will remain in office until a replacement is chosen, has been prime minister for just 45 days and will almost certainly go down as the shortest serving leader in British history. The low tax, low regulation economic policies that got Truss selected by her party proved disastrous in the real world at a time of soaring inflation and weak growth. In other sports news, Toronto's all-star guard Fred VanVleet addresses delighted fans before tip-off Wednesday's season opener. Pascal Siakam had 23 points and 11 rebounds, and the Raptors used a furious fourth-quarter comeback to beat the Cavaliers with a score of 108 out of 105 in an entertaining season opener in Toronto. Gary Trent Jr. added 19 points, while OG Anunoby had 10 of his 18 points in the fourth quarter, as the Raptors had 6 player scores in double figures. Scotty Barnes and VanVleet finished with 15 apiece, while Precious Achiuwa chipped in it with 10. Cleveland's prize newcomer Donovan Mitchell led the Cavs with 31 points. The Raptors had Brooklyn to play the Nets on Friday. They continued a tough early season schedule with 2 games at Miami before returning home for a pair of games against Philly. In our weather, our weekend and next week are looking great, with great high ranging from 50 to 18 degrees and lows of 8 to 11 degrees. Wednesday might bring in chance of showers, but otherwise glorious sun. So enjoy your weekend, folks. In our interesting fact of the week, I'm going to speak about fall. Yes, the season of fall. So as you can see, there's Canadian goose, where they were all in a tree with a changing leaves color. So let's get into it. Now, what are the signs of fall? The first sign is of course the leaves changing color. A dazzling display of gold or crimson leaves is one of the defining features of fall. This annual event is triggered by fall's cooler temperature and shorter days where there is less sunlight, The deciduous trees stop producing chlorophyll. Sorry about that. Which they use to convert light into energy to grow. Chlorophyll is the pigment that gives leaves their green color. When production slows down, the chlorophyll fades and yellow and red pigments are revealed. Some more signs of fall are, you guessed it, geese head south. The Canada goose migration is one of the most visible signs that fall is coming. Depending on where you live, you are bound to see hundreds of northern birds flying south at the end of summer. Squirrels go crazy as the weather cools and acorns drop. Squirrels starts to hoard food in catches for the winter. Biologists estimate that a single squirrel will make several thousand catches every year. If nothing else, watching a squirrel frantically stash food away from winter gives us something to watch on the slow day. Days get shorter when the days have been getting shorter since the summer solstice in the late June, but now it's really starting to get noticeable. They'll continue to get shorter until the winter solstice in the late December, which is the shortest day of the year. If you spot some other signs of fall around you, so feel free to put it in a chat box. With all of the fall talk, we come to the end of my segment. Now back to Aiden's gaming news.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I just want to say, out of all the news, I always love your facts. I always say this. I know it sounds like a broken record, but I love it. And you know what? Fall is almost one of my favorite seasons due to the factor that it becomes very, very cold. There's bright yellows, oranges, and reds that the trees turn. I still don't wear shorts until it becomes winter and snow appears. But you know what? Fall is my favorite season because it's a more cooler weather and it's the most beautiful season. For everyone else, so Joshua, Jeffrey, and the Brass, what did you guys think of Kevin's news?
I can go first. Yeah, I love your fact, and even the picture behind you is just amazing. Very nice.
Very beautiful gooses.
Yeah, fall is one of my. Yeah, I really like fall, and I like how you talked about. Love seeing all the colors in the trees.
You know what? Again, fall is the time for pumpkins and very bright red, yellow, and orange clothing to come out for the season. And obviously spooky ghosts. And actually, talking about spooky stuff, this gets into my second segment. Now, starting this week, I guess I'm starting now, we are going into the spooky gaming news. And do be warned, if you guys are scared of a little bit of ghosts and jump scares and maybe a little bit of spooky creatures, do be warned. Don't look this up. But if you are a Silent Hill fan, hold on to your butts, people, because Konami dropped a ton of news recently about the future of its iconic horror franchise. And aside from confirming a long-rumored remake of Silent Hill 2, the studio revealed 3 new games in the same universe: Silent Hill Townfall, Ascension, and F? Yes, they all sound like really incredible and unique experiences. But I have a little bit of descriptions about each one. So out of all of them, we got Townfall first, which comes from Annapurna Interactive and No Code. And if you know, Annapurna and No Code have made great games like titles like Observation and Donut County. If you ever want to play a goofy, fun game like Donut County, I recommend that you check that one out. The teaser for Townfall features an old-school pocket television clipping through tense conversations and disturbing scenes. It almost looks like the most traditional Silent Hill game of the trio. The second one is Ascension, which is the least game-like installment here, but it comes with a big name attached. Are you ready for this name? J.J. Abrams. It's an interactive streaming series where the entire community shapes the canon of Silent Hill, and its tagline is "Face your trauma together." And finally, there is Silent Hill F. It is a game that sounds like an exciting departure from the Florida series, and it's coming from hear me out, guys. I might butcher the name. Ryukishi07. What a weird name. But yes, that is his name. Ryukishi07, a creator known for creating acclaimed visual novels with psychological horror and supernatural mysteries at their core. The YouTube description of the teaser says that the game is set in 1960s Japan, featuring a beautiful yet horrifying world. Now, trust you me, guys, as much as it's scary to sound, when somebody that is usually from Japan makes a horror game, you are going to be shaking in your boots, because those types of games literally shake me to my core. Do I even need to mention Corpse Party? That was a scary game. So I hope you're excited for Silent Hill, the Ascension, which is like a kind of like a interactive streaming series. Townfall, which is the most game-like Silent Hill out of the trio, and then Silent Hill F, which is going to be an interactive visual novel. If you have the guts to look up the trailers, but do be warned, you will be you're gonna be having your teeth chatter in fear. Anyways, though, next up is Joshua, and Joshua has with us some good story news and, of course, your favorite animal news.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Uconnect now for a good news story. Kind-hearted boy uses birthday money to start a food bank in his garden shed. A kind-hearted 11-year-old boy used his own birthday money to launch a food bank service. Isaac Winfield fills bags of groceries which have been donated and hands them out to the needy around his hometown. Since starting the food bank in 2020, the service has grown so much that Isaac's family bought a shed to store the hundreds of donated items. Well-wishers can now donate food or ask for supplies by contacting the schoolboy via his Friends of Isaac Food Bank Facebook page. We had always donated to food banks during the pandemic, and he would take food parcels into school, which would be given to people in need, said his very proud mom, Claire, who added that recently Isaac had moved to a specialist school which didn't have a similar program, leaving him depressed that he couldn't continue to help people. His parents give him a lift in a donated van which has been customized with Isaac's instantly recognizable rainbow logo. But sometimes it's Isaac who takes bags of groceries to people on foot. Those in need are also able to go to Isaac's food bank shed in his hometown of Redditch, England, which is open 24 hours a day, and help themselves. Isaac was born with a rare chromosome disease, and the food bank has helped massively with his confidence as he can't read or write. For his 11th birthday, he just wanted food bank donations, and the shed was absolutely rammed, said Claire. He just wanted to get as many donations in as possible to help as many people as he can. Isaac has now been nominated for a local business award and hopes to open his second food bank in the town next month. Now for another good news story. A man from New Zealand taught both his parents how to play the drums and the bass so he would have people to jam with. Ryan Stokes couldn't have his friends over to jam during the COVID lockdown, so he decided to teach his parents how to play instruments. Inspired by White Stripes, a two-piece rock band, the 20-year-old guitarist initially taught his 55-year-old mom to play the drums. 2 months later, his 60-year-old father picked up an electric bass for the first time. The family appropriately named their band Mama's Boy, with Ryan crushing songs at the forefront vocalist, while his mom, Andrea Stokes, keeps time on drums. And is that line Lyndon plucks the bass all with a lot of confidence. The trio has been practicing 3 to 4 weeks at a time, and they have an album out called Who Would Have Thought released in April on the band's Spotify account. Both of the middle-aged newbies adapted to the rock star life very quickly, appearing in videos on TikTok hours after picking up instruments for the first time. The group quickly won the hearts of the internet, accumulating 72,000 followers on TikTok since their formation with 700,000 views. Ryan and his parents are shocked by how popular Mama's Boy has become, and I have been loving the support they get online. The band uses Ryan's bedroom as a studio by using music editing software. They put together their album in just a month. Since their big break online, the band has also played live shows with a lot of jittery nerves leading up to their first gig. Unintentionally, unaccidentally, benefit is now that the family gets to spend more time together and bond over their shared love of music. Now they can bond over their shared love of making music, said Ryan. Now turning to animal interest news. Rare parrots saved from hurricane at Florida. 275 exotic parrots are now on their way to a new wildlife sanctuary after their heroic caretaker pulled all of them out into his still dead house like Noah's Ark to ride out Hurricane Ian. There's no question in the mind of Will Paratinto that the waves would have drowned all of these parrots. When the waves crested his 5-foot-high fencing around Malama Manu Sanctuary on Pine Island, Florida, after the devastation of full-scale volunteer effort transported all 275 parrots by boat through flooded canals to solid ground where they will be taken to another wildlife sanctuary. The efforts were led by Project Dynamo, a volunteer rescue operation from Tampa that heard about Pep Paratinto's plight. They put together a team and 4 boats to put all the parrots in cat-sized pet carriers and bring them off the ravaged Pine Islands. There's a lot of work ahead for this parrot-loving man to build a new home for the flock, which includes breeding pairs meant to safeguard populations of endangered animals from becoming extinct. It's as close to a modern reproduction of the story of Noah as one can find. You can help build another ark. A GoFundMe page to fund the rebuilding of the sanctuary has raised $34,000 of its $200,000 goal. This is just short reporting for Connect. That's it for me. Now I'll send it back to you, Aiden.
Thank you so much, Joshua. I gotta say, out of all of your news, I loved every single one. The first one, obviously, the kid using his birthday money to start a food bank. It's always nice to have somebody doing something for the community, and it's always nice to have a food bank, especially for people in need. And I cannot believe that one kid taught his parents how to play drum and bass to start a band. Now, this gets me thinking, somebody here is a musician, and I think, Jeffrey, you need to get your mom and your dad to start playing some instruments and start your own band. Other than that, what about everyone else? What did you guys think about Joshua's news?
Well, I like the kind-hearted boy who does the charity food bank. It's a good story for.
I also liked it, but I really like the drum story, teaching your parents, which are old, and just teaching them some instrument, which is a guitar. That is hard, and kudos to the kid. That's amazing. I love the story.
I agree with Nibras. I agree.
I also do love the parrot story.
The parrot story is amazing. Thank goodness somebody said.
Yeah, that was cute.
And they were rare parrots, so thank goodness that their lives were saved, because that's 270 lives that they saved, which is always nice. Thank you so much, Joshua. And now to move on to my final gaming news, we always have to start off with the last video game news, which is the board game of the week. Now, the board game of the week is similar to the video game of the week, but guess what? It's a board game, and today's board game of the week is based off of spaceships called the ISS Vanguard. So in the ISS Vanguard, it is a 1 to 4 player cooperative campaign board game. It will bring players right into this epic sci-fi adventure as they will play as 4 sections: security, recon, science, and engineering. On board the first human ship with the possibility to reach outer space, campaign will introduce the unique story written by Krzysztof Piskorski, also known as the Tainted Grail, full of hard player choices, twists, and branching storylines. The game will come with over 100 different crew members, each with unique characteristics. Basically, during all the phases, players will try to get the most points. But during all the phases of the game, players will be directed to the logbook, consisting story accountings, often written in the form of action-packed dialogues between the characters. There is no winning, there's just surviving. And in this game, it's all about surviving. During the ship phase, players will manage their ships, where every section will have to make gameplay decisions. Then you will prepare your crew for landing on the next planet in search of answers to humanity's biggest questions. Together, you will pick lander and customize it with modules. Then each section will choose a crew member to take on a mission. Now, remember, more experienced crew members will have better ranks. So it requires deck building, skills deck, and you gotta take equipment and choose dices for your characters. It's a full-on campaign D&D board game, and it's revolving around space and traveling around space. I love a game that kind of tackles that intergalactic kind of experience. But if you guys are interested in ISS Vanguard, I recommend that you check it out. And if you are really interested, make sure to buy the game. And if you buy the game or played it before, leave a comment down below and tell us how you liked it. Anyways, though, we got to keep on moving with the train. And next up is Nibras with some entertainment and podcast news.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host of Entertainment News, Nibras Khan. Hello everybody, how are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan and I'm your host for the Entertainment News. Let's get to our top story. And our top story is about Eternals has an interesting installment from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, both on and off the screen. On one hand, the project introduced over a dozen new characters within its nearly 3-hour-long runtime. On the other, the project is one of the worst-rated installments of the MCU to date. Despite that reception, many fans were still looking forward to seeing where the story might go from there, meaning the sequel. When the movie ended, 4 members of the team had been kidnapped by Celestial, while the others came face to face with Harry Styles' Eros, who claimed to know how to help their friends. Sadly, both San Diego Comic-Con 2022 and D23 Fan Expo came and went without a mention of the anticipated sequel. Even one of the stars of the movies was disappointed by the lack of the news. Now, star Barry Keoghan has revealed that he still hasn't heard anything regarding the franchise's future. Despite the questionable reception of the first film, it would be difficult to see Marvel Studios not making a sequel of some sort. Those new characters have a lot of loose ends to tie up. Not to mention the fact that Eros and Pip were hopefully not introduced for no reason. Many fans remain disappointed that Marvel Studios made no mention of Eternals 2 in their recent showcases. However, there are still empty movie release date slots to fill in both 2025 and 2026. So that is good news. So that means that they still have some slots, so they can, in the near future, they can just say, "Oh, Eternal 2's is happening." So that is good news. But also, a movie like Eternals, which in the fact that I did not like it at the start, but I watched it again and I kind of liked it. Because it's a long movie and it takes a little time to understand, but I really liked it after then. Anyways, I really hope to see the part two or any other sequel and that is related to Eternals. But other than that, I don't think so. Eternals 2 is happening, but I really hope that it is happening. Anyways, comment down below if you like the Eternals or if you watched it. Because I liked it after a while. Anywho, let's go to our second story. Now, before I go to my second story, I like to give you guys a fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is, drum roll, please. Did you guys know that I don't read or watch movie reviews? Yes, that's true. I believe nobody should read or watch movie reviews or TV shows. So the reason is because, for example, and this happened a lot of time with me. I watched the movie and I loved it, and then I went to just wanted to know what other people thought. So I went to the Google page of reviews for the movie, and I saw a lot of negative reviews, bad reviews, right? So, but that can also mean that and so what I do is I don't watch or read any movie reviews, because then your mind gets turned and say, oh, that I don't know why I liked it. That's just a bad movie because the majority of people liked it. So that's why I don't read any movie or watch any movie reviews or TV shows, because this happens, right? If that happened to you, comment down below. If you like this fact, I loved it, this fact, because it was so interesting. Comment down below. Now to my second story. So my second story, of course, is a podcast. As you know, Halloween is around the corner, and that's why, in the spirit of Halloween, I have this podcast for you. So the podcast name is Web Crawlers. Self-proclaimed comedians Ali Siegel and Melissa Stern discuss unsolved mysteries, creepy cults, paranormal experiences, and everything in between. They maintain a loose, upbeat dynamic as they fall down rabbit holes, which means our listeners can comfortably dip their toes in deeply unsettling and unexplained things, but won't walk away feeling well haunted. During October 2022, this month, they're doing spooky stories all month long. So I love this podcast. So the podcast name is Web Crawlers. So why I love this podcast is every Halloween or so, I love to listen to horror stories or just unsolved mysteries that they were not solved, or just plain spooky stories that happen in real life. So I love this podcast. They talk about a lot of stories, discuss a lot of stuff that happened in the past, a lot of stuff. Just I love this podcast. So if you like horror podcast, and it's just, this is not that horror, it's just a little bit horror. The genre is horror, but I trust me, it's not all about horror. So if you like podcasts about Halloween or Halloween type of podcast, I highly recommend you check out this podcast. So the name is Web Crawlers. So, and that's all from me. As always, this is Nibras Khan from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Well, back to reading. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Okay, I gotta say, that was the best intro I have ever seen you do, Nibras. I couldn't even pay attention to your news because all I could think about was that clapping sound effect. Also, if you guys know, Jeffrey is up next, but let's have our discussion while he gets prepared and everything like that. Okay, I love that intro. I love the clapping sound effect. I thought there was somebody in your room clapping. I thought it was like, I thought somebody was just clapping for you, and I absolutely love that, Nibras. And I do think that podcast that you were mentioning about the spooky stories called Web Crawlers sounds really interesting. What about you, Kevin, and you, Joshua? What did you guys think about it?
I actually love the intro for entertainment news.
Thank you.
Truly awesome. Truly, Nebraska, you standing off to the side and you just being introducing Nibras Khan with his entertainment news, and
Aiden?
just amazing. Yeah, sure. What's up, Joshua?
I would say that intro, I cannot even do it, Ross. I'm telling that for sure.
Yeah.
So that was incredible.
Thank you so much.
That was truly a pro. That was truly a pro intro. I could never achieve something that amazing. Thank you so much, Nibras, for all the news that you shared. I did hear a little bit about Marvel news and a little bit of drama here and there. But you know what? It happens. It's news. Drama's eventually about to happen. But I hope you guys have gotten your ears ready. Your ears are ready to rumble. I hope your body is ready to wiggle, because you know who's up next. We got our live musician, Jeffrey, with his live music.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another youth episode. You connect with myself, Jeffrey, your live musician. And I'm going to be playing an original song to get you all dancing and prancing and just having such a good time rocking out. And this is Jelly Roll. Will you Jelly Roll? One step forward, two steps back. Roll your hips side to side. Don't hide or slide. Shake your hands to and fro. Never let smile go. You can do it, yes you can. Empty your pockets, give me a change. Come and grab feet, rearrange, don't hide or slide. You know you want to win, two, Jelly Roll. One step forward, two steps back. Roll your hips side to side, don't hide or slide. Shake your hands to and fro, never let smile go. You can do it, yes you can. Empty your pockets, give me a change. Help me grab feet, rearrange, don't hide or slide. Be the best you can be, let me hear you say it. You know you wanna will, Jelly Roll. One step forward, two steps back. Roll your hips side to side, don't hide or slide. Shake your hands to and fro, never let smile go. You can do it, yes you can. Come on! Empty your pockets, give me a change. Have they got faith? Rearrange, don't hide or slide. Be the best you can be. Let me hear you say it. You know you want will, Jelly Roll. Shake your hands to and fro. Never let the smile go. Don't hide or slide. Everybody, will, Jelly Roll. One step forward, two steps back. Roll your hips side to side, don't hide or slide. I said, will, Jelly Roll. One step forward, two steps back. Roll your hips side to side, don't hide or slide. Shake your hands to and fro, never let smile go. You can do, yes you can. pockets, give me a change. Help me grab fate, rearrange, don't hide nor slide. Be the best you can be, let me hear you say it. You know you wanna win, two, jelly roll. One step forward, 2 steps back. Roll your hips side to side, don't hide nor slide. Shake your hands to and fro, down for let your smile go. You can do it, yes you can. Boom, chip, jelly roll. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Roll your hips side to side, don't hide and slide, and slide.
Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. This has been your music, and I'll see you all next week for another jam. It's back to you, Aiden. Bye, everyone.
Now, Jelly Roll is such a great song. It is one of the original of the series, and you know what? Jeffrey played it so well. Now, I did notice, Jeffrey, that you did extend it, and I really like a good old extension. I loved it. It sounded really, really good, Jeffrey. And you know what? I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Now, sadly, we have reached the end of our Youth Connect. If you did like Youth Connect, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your day. And we will see you all probably next week. Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you guys
Bye,
so much
guys.
for watching.